So now we're on to page 4. Now this one's looking mighty complicated. We're really getting into the nitty-gritty, but it's pretty straightforward if you work through it. It's important to go assembly by the numbers, just so that you don't get things out of sequence. So follow the numbers on the diagram and in the packs. So here's part 1 out of stage 4, and this will have the cylinders mounted on it, and it goes on the chassis like so. But meanwhile there's 2 little brackets to go on the front, and we've sorted out, these are bolts to hold that base plate in. These are for the cylinders. That's the back of the slide bars, that's the front of the slide bars. So we're just know more or less where we're going with all of these. Let's make a start with that one. Once you've got one lined up, the others pretty much follow suit. Well, the cylinders go on next, but before we do that, we're going to get the slide bars and the crosshead and the conrod all in as a unit. Now these parts should all line up. Right, Mads is assembling up the other side. There's quite a few components to line up here, so it's not that straightforward. Yep, that's convincing. Right, and then the slide bar onto the cover. Yeah. Making it look easy, Mads.
Make sure it works as well. There you go.
Excellent. You're fitting the cylinders, but before we do that, we're going to put the coupling rods on, and that will just mean that when we come to put the cylinder, the conrod can go over the top. So let's line up the crank pins. That seems pretty good. And then we can do the same again on the other side. So if we push that along, we can double check everything turns reasonably freely. Yeah, that's pretty good. All needs oiling up, of course. So here's the E-clip ready to go on the end of the crank pin. And these are quite fiddly little blighters. So get them as close as we can. Get the pliers on, touching the base first, and then a little squeeze. And he's there. So the next stage is to put the cylinders on. They go on the top like so, but we're also going to put a spacer on that middle crank pin and get the conrod in place. So just line that up. Oh, it's not quite started. Nearly there. Yep. So we've just got to put in the bolts for the ends of the slide bars and the E-clip on the end of the crank pin. Here's the other side going on. Just making sure the holes are lining up. Yeah, once you've got one started, the others should line up all right, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
So we slackened off the front screw on the slide bar just so that we can line up the bolts at the back, but these seem to be going in reasonably easily. So that's the cylinders all in situ, and we can just double check that everything turns right over. We've given everything a little spot of oil just to help it on its way, but that's pretty good. So on with the next part. So now we're setting up the reverser linkage, and this is a bit of a box of tricks, and it's important to get everything orientated the right way around. So this one, the straight one, will come down the middle and work the reverser, and the cranked one sits on the side here, goes around the firebox to the actual reversing lever in the cab. And this shaft has some little flats on it, goes in through here, but you've got to make sure that the flats are in the right orientation. So effectively it's going to be one like that, with this little grub screw on the flat, and one like that, and that will be assembled inside the frames with an E-clip on each end. So this is the linkage for the reverser in on the frame. We've got the two little arms in. This one comes back to the reversing lever, that one goes to the reverse valve on the valve block, and then we've got the E-clips on the ends of the shaft there, and the little grub screws underneath to tighten them in the right place. We're ready to fit the valve block now, and there's a gasket to go between the two surfaces, and don't forget you've got a long and a short steamway on the gasket as well as on the cylinder. It just sits on the top like so, and we've got our stainless screws with a little Phillips head to get them started. We get them all started loose and then go around and tighten them all up individually.
Not liking it, I think.
Yeah, loosen off the other ones if it's not quite lining up.
Yeah, well, I think it was the gasket, but yeah, I will loosen them a bit.
So the next part to fit are these little valve drive arms. They go through the link here and they screw onto the back of the valves there. But before fitting them, I fitted an E-clip on the inside groove of this arm and the adjusting lock nut, and make sure that actually goes through all right. That seems pretty good, but I have had to take the paint off the end of the rod there and also just in the hole with a needle file. So that should be ready to fit. So pull the valve right out. You can screw this into the end of the valve. We haven't set it yet, so we'll leave that loose. And then push him back in. There he goes. And we can just get the end in that little drop arm there. So the valve's coming out on the other side.
Can't get that out.
Well, they're a nice tight fit. Go on, give it a wiggle.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Bit oily.
Yeah, it doesn't need to go right up to the nut yet because you don't know what the adjustment's going to be. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then we've got an E-clip to go on the inside. So we've managed to get the E-clips either side of these little arms on both sides, and now we're ready to link up the reverser. So I've put the clevis and the E-clip on here. We're going to screw in a little bit of studding, which is our adjustment for the valve, and that will then screw into this one. So twisting this valve onto its spindle. So now when we reverse it, we've got the movement there. But we're going to set all of these valves according to their little setting marks, but that will come as a later job. Now we're onto the footplate, and just make sure you've got this the right way round. This is towards the front with the cutout, and you've got a hole there and a hole here. And 6 little M2s to hold it in place. With the footplate in place, now we're putting the reversing lever on. So I've fitted that little bolt onto the reach rod, and then we've got 2 little screws here to hold it in place. And it does have a little bit of adjustment on it. So we'll come back to that when we've got more parts on and see what we need to adjust round. And then last piece for this stage is the saddle, and that goes on the front there. It should just clip into place, and we've got a couple of bolts to go in the front and a couple round the back if we can reach them.